Welcome to Senior Care Insights. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something pretty fundamental food.
Absolutely. Specifically, how what we eat impacts us, well, particularly as we get a bit older.
Exactly. We're exploring the, I guess, surprising power of low-carb, no-sugar foods for anyone over 60.
And it's not about those really restrictive diets, is it? It's more about embracing, nutrient-rich whole
For a
foods.
more vibrant life, hopefully.
That's the goal. It's fascinating how our body's needs change, and diet is just so crucial in supporting that.
Especially, it seems, with how we handle sugars and carbohydrates.
That's a big one, yes.
Okay, so let's start right there. For someone listening, maybe in their 60s or 70s, why even think about cutting back on carbs or added sugars? What are the real, tangible benefits?
Well, one of the key things that happens as we age is our cells can become a little less responsive to insulin.
Okay, insulin.
Yeah.
That's the hormone for getting sugar out of the blood and into cells for energy, right?
Precisely. So when that sensitivity decreases, you can end up with higher blood sugar levels floating around.
And a diet heavy in refined carbs or sugar makes that worse.
It certainly can, yeah. It can kind of pour fuel on the fire, leading to potentially more inflammation throughout the body, and that real feeling of low energy that a lot of seniors talk about.
Right, the afternoon slump maybe. So tackling both blood sugar and this insulin sensitivity issue,
Exactly. By focusing on whole foods, naturally low in carbs, no added sugar, you help stabilize those blood sugar levels.
which then helps with the inflammation.
It does. It has this great knock-on effect. Think of it like calming down a low-grade fire inside that can contribute to all sorts of health niggles.
And that reduction in inflammation, that's got wider benefits, hasn't it? It's not just feeling less tired.
Oh, definitely. When you dial down inflammation and keep blood sugar steadier, you're giving really significant support to your heart health and, crucially, your brain function, too.
So potentially staying sharper and more active for longer.
That's the idea, yes.
Yeah.
Maintaining that activity, that mental edge.
Okay, let's get specific then. What kind of foods are we talking about? Leafy greens always come up. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard. What makes them such powerhouses here?
They are brilliant. What's really remarkable is just how much nutrition they pack in for very, very few carbohydrates and practically zero sugar.
So low in the stuff you want to limit, high in the good stuff.
Exactly. Take spinach. A cup of raw spinach gives you a good dose of vitamin A, C, K, minerals too. And vitamin K, for instance, is just vital for calcium regulation.
Which means stronger bones, right? Especially important later in life.
Absolutely crucial. And beyond bones, these nutrients help your immune system. That's vitamin A tissue repair with vitamin C. They can even help protect your arteries.
Wow. And some talk about slowing down cellular aging.
There's research pointing that way, yes. It's all connected to reducing that oxidative stress and inflammation.
We heard about a listener, Margaret, 68. She made a pretty simple switch, didn't she?
Yes, it's a great example. She'd been feeling bloated, low energy, just put it down to getting older.
Yeah, easily done.
So she swapped her usual ham sandwich at lunch for a big spinach salad, maybe with some olive oil, a boiled egg. Simple.
And the result.
Within a few weeks, she said she felt lighter, her thinking felt clearer, and interestingly, some of her joint aches seemed to ease up.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really shows how small tweaks can work.
It really does.
So for someone listening thinking, okay, more greens, how do I start? What's a practical first step?
Oh, super easy. Try adding a cup of raw spinach to your lunch salad, or maybe saute some kale with a bit of garlic and olive oil as a side dish for dinner. Just get it in there regularly.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Okay, what about other veggies? Broccoli and cauliflower often get mentioned. Did you call them quiet transformers? What's transformative about them?
Ha! Yes, I like that term for them.
No.
They might not be flashy, but broccoli and cauliflower are incredibly helpful for how you feel after eating.
How so?
Well, again, naturally very low carb, no sugar, but the key thing here is the fiber. They are packed with fiber.
And fiber, we know it's good for digestion, but how does it help with blood sugar specifically for seniors?
That high fiber content is crucial because it slows everything down. The digestion process becomes more gradual.
So no sudden sugar rush into the bloodstream.
Exactly. It prevents those big, rapid spikes in blood sugar, which, as we mentioned, can be tricky if insulin sensitivity is reduced. These veggies help release glucose gently, plus they help you feel full without that sugar surge.
We had another story, Harold, 72. He started eating more broccoli and cauliflower.
Yes, Harold. He was dealing with that morning stiffness, low energy. His wife started roasting broccoli and cauliflower just simply with olive oil a few times a week.
And what did he notice?
Over about a month, he said he found it easier to get going in the mornings, his joints felt a bit less painful, and even his blood pressure readings nudged down slightly.
And he didn't feel like he was on a diet.
No, that's what he emphasized. He was just eating more good, whole food. It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. So, a good starting point for listeners.
Aim for maybe a cup a day. Steamed, roasted, however you like it. Simple seasonings are best: garlic, olive oil, lemon juice. Consistency is probably the main thing.
Got it. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, often linked to brain and heart health.
Yeah.
How do they fit into this low-carb, no-sugar picture for seniors?
Ah, yes, fatty fish. They're fantastic because, again, virtually zero carbs, but they are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids.
Omega-3s, we hear that term a lot. They're anti-inflammatory.
Very potent anti-inflammatories, yes. And this is so important because chronic low-level inflammation can build up over the years.
And that causes problems.
It can contribute to all sorts of age-related things: damage to blood vessels, stiff joints, even speeding up memory loss or cognitive decline. Omega-3s help fight that.
Right. And there's a direct link to thinking and memory, too.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of research shows higher omega-3 intake in older adults is linked to sharper thinking, better memory, even more stable moods. They seem to be really important for how our brain cells function and communicate.
We heard from Helen, 73. She was having some memory issues.
That's right. She was noticing more forgetfulness. So she started deliberately eating salmon twice a week, just simply baked.
And did it help?
She reported that after a couple of months, she noticed fewer of those senior moments, felt mentally clearer, and her mood felt more balanced, too. It's a powerful connection.
Sounds like a delicious way to boost brain power. Any practical tips for getting more fatty fish?
Just try to make it a regular feature. And don't forget convenient options. Canned wild salmon or sardines are great, really nutritious. Add them to salads, maybe mash with a little olive oil. Easy.
Good tip. Okay, next up, eggs. They've had a bit of a confusing history, haven't they? But now they're being called almost perfect for seniors on this kind of plan.
They really have had some unfair press, mostly around cholesterol concerns that have largely been, well, reevaluated. For older adults cutting carbs and sugar, eggs are nutritional gold.
Why is that?
Well, first off, a large egg has less than 1 gram of carbs and no sugar. Plus, it's packed with high-quality protein.
Which is vital for keeping muscle mass as we age, right?
Absolutely vital, but it's not just protein. Eggs are rich in other key things like choline.
Choline, what does that do?
Choline is crucial for memory and overall brain health. It helps brain cells communicate. And eggs also have lutein.
Lutein, for eyes.
Exactly. It's an antioxidant that helps protect against age-related macular degeneration, a major cause of vision loss.
Yeah.
It acts like internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light.
Wow, brain, muscles, eyes. Quite the package. We heard about Claire, 63. She changed her breakfast routine.
Yes, Claire's story is great. She used to skip breakfast or just have toast, something carby, and she'd get those mid-morning energy crashes, brain fog.
Sounds familiar.
Right. Her doctor suggested trying 2 boiled eggs and maybe half an avocado instead.
Yeah.
Much more stable energy all morning, clearer thinking. It really shows how starting the day right impacts everything else.
Definitely a more sustaining start. So how can people easily get more eggs in?
Oh, they're so versatile. Scrambled, poached, boiled in an omelet. And they're affordable. Pairing them with healthy fats like that avocado or some greens just boosts the benefit and keeps you full longer.
Makes sense. Okay, let's tackle snacking. Big challenge for many. Nuts and seeds are highlighted as smart choices over, say, biscuits or sweets. Why?
This is really key. Those blood sugar dips between meals often trigger cravings for something sweet or starchy for a quick fix.
Yeah, that quick energy hit.
But it's usually followed by a crash. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, they offer something different. They're low carb, low sugar, but they've got protein, healthy fats, and minerals like magnesium.
So it's sustained energy, not a spike and crash.
Exactly that. The combination of protein, fat, and fiber gives you a steady release of energy, avoiding those dramatic ups and downs in blood sugar.
We heard about Tony, 70. He swapped his usual afternoon snack.
He did. He used to have oatmeal cookies, thinking he needed the sugar, but then he'd feel wiped out by dinner, and he also had leg cramps at night.
What did he switch to?
A small handful of almonds, sometimes some chia pudding he'd made.
And difference?
No more afternoon energy slump, fewer sugar cravings, and his leg cramps got better. That might be the magnesium boost from the nuts and seeds. Plus, benefits for bones, nerves. It all adds up.
It really shows the ripple effect of smart snacking. Any easy tips?
Keep a little bag of unsalted almonds or walnuts handy. Or make a batch of chia pudding at the start of the week. Just chia seeds, liquid, maybe a few berries. Great to have ready.
Good ideas. Now, a food group some people are still a bit wary of: fats. Avocados are up next. Healthy fats for blood sugar control. Tell us about that.
Yes, the old fat is bad message really stuck, didn't it? But we know much better now. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated
The
fats.
good kind.
The really good kind. Great for heart health, but they also seem to improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate blood sugar.
And they're low carb, too.
Very low in sugar, and because they have so much fiber, their net carb count is tiny.
So it's the healthy fat plus the fiber working together.
That's the magic combination. The fiber slows digestion, keeps you full, prevents glucose spikes. The fats support your overall metabolism.
Joanne, 66, was hesitant about avocados.
She avoided them for years, thought they were too fattening. But then she started adding half an avocado to her lunch salad.
And she changed her mind.
Definitely. She felt much more satisfied after meals, snacked less between them, and her cholesterol levels actually improved. A great lesson in understanding different types of fat.
It certainly is. How can people easily add avocado?
Slice it on salads or eggs, mash it on low-carb toast or crackers, blend it into smoothies for creaminess. Lots of ways.
Okay, moving to something we use in cooking olive oil, called a simple yet powerful ally. Why ally?
Well, it's simple because it's just one ingredient, but powerful because of its benefits. It's completely sugar-free, carb-free, obviously.
And packed with good stuff.
Yes, those healthy monounsaturated fats, again, great for the heart, but also anti-inflammatory compounds.
You mentioned one called oleocanthal.
Yes. Oleocanthal is a natural compound in extra virgin olive oil that has anti-inflammatory effects. A bit like a natural ibuprofen in a way.
Yeah.
Very helpful for tamping down that chronic inflammation.
And there are links to brain health, too.
There are. Studies connect regular olive oil intake with a lower risk of stroke and cognitive decline in older adults. It's a key part of the Mediterranean diet, famous for longevity.
Eleanor's 71. She just switched her cooking fat.
Pretty much. She started using extra virgin olive oil more instead of margarine or other fats. Cooked with it, used it on salads.
That felt a difference.
She reported feeling less bloated, kind of lighter overall, and her doctor noticed a slight dip in her blood pressure too. Simple switch, noticeable effect.
So easy ways to use more.
Drizzle it everywhere. Salads, cooked veggies, fish. Use it for sautéing instead of other oils or butter. Choose a good quality extra virgin for the best benefits.
Great. Last one, and maybe a surprising one for some. Chives. A surprising smart choice. Why smart?
Cheese does get a bit of criticism sometimes, mainly for fat or sodium. But if you're focusing on low carb, no sugar, most cheeses fit really well.
How so?
They're virtually sugar-free, very low carb. Plus, they're a great source of protein and calcium.
Calcium for bones, protein for muscles.
Exactly. And the fat content, like with nuts and avocado, can actually be helpful. It promotes fullness, satiety.
So it helps you avoid reaching for, like, sugary biscuits later.
Precisely. It can really help manage cravings and keep you satisfied between meals.
We heard about another Helen, 74 this time. Cheese helped her with snacking.
Yes, this Helen used to snack on crackers or cookies in the afternoon. She swapped that for a small piece of hard cheese, like cheddar, maybe with some cucumber sticks.
And it helped manage her weight and blood sugar.
She found it did, yes. Fewer cravings, felt satisfied, easier to manage things without feeling deprived. Smart swap.
So what kind of cheese is best? And how much?
Harder, aged cheeses are often good choices. Parmesan, Swiss, aged cheddar. They tend to be lower in lactose too, which helps some people. Stick to sensible portions, maybe 1 or 2 ounces. Pairing it with veggies is a great way to make it a balanced snack.
Fantastic. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground collagen. 8 really beneficial foods: leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, fatty fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, avocado, olive oil, and cheese. That's quite a list.
It is, and they all share that low-carb, no-sugar profile while being packed with vital nutrients.
So what's the main message for our listeners thinking about incorporating these?
I think the key takeaway is that making these kinds of foods a regular part of your life can be a really powerful step. A step towards better energy, clearer thinking, and just supporting your independence and well-being as you age.
It's not about deprivation, but about choosing foods that truly nourish.
Exactly. And remember, even small, consistent changes add up. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight.
That's really encouraging. Thank you so much for walking us through all of this today. It's been incredibly insightful.
my pleasure. It's all about empowering people with information to make choices that feel good and support their health.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, if you found this deep dive helpful, please do give this video a like and maybe share it with friends or family who might benefit.
Yes, spread the word.
Leave a comment below too. We'd love to hear your experiences or any questions you have. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button for Senior Care Insights. We've got lots more discussions coming up on health and well-being for seniors.
Look forward to it.
Thanks again for tuning in. We'll connect with you in our next exploration.